Hey guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Chronicles of a Crafter. For today, I'm going to do one of Malena's MsScrapbusters challenge. I was going through my stash like while I was cleaning my room up and reorganizing everything, and I found these really cute note cards. So they are just, I believe they were a one-off from the Dollar Tree, right? So let me just zoom you out really quickly so you can see my mess. They're just a one-off from the Dollar Tree, I think, and I just picked these up because I thought these were really cute. I mean, look at that. So okay, we're doing Malena's MsScrapbusters challenge because I'm behind on her challenges, as well as I have a pile of scraps that I need to go through. But while I was looking through my stuff, I found this, and I'm like, Malena just did a Sunburst scrap project, and I was like, this looks just like it. Like this is almost identical to what she was working on, right? So putting this aside, this is what I came up with. As you can tell from the thumbnail, these are my little prototypes that I made, all based off of Malena's project, her little MsScrapbusters challenge, which I think is phenomenal because I have so many scraps. When I first started doing junk journaling, this was all the scrap that I had. Right? So these are very tiny little pieces of scrap that probably is not good for anything and may end up in the trash. But since I've started doing lots and lots and lots of projects, now this is my scrap pile. So it's a full-on case of nothing but scraps, and I gotta use them up because it's getting too much. It's like busting out of the packaging, right? Or out of the box. So Malena's little project really came in handy, uses up a lot of scraps, and we're gonna go ahead and make a couple of these today. So let's get started. Okay, so to begin, you want to find your base paper. So I've had these pages. These are just scrapbook paper, double-sided paper. This was some paper that I stamped on the other side. I figured that'll still look cute. And this is just some cardstock weight paper, and this is some craft paper, as well as this one that I glued down some writing coffee dyed paper on the back of it. So yeah, we're just going to use a few square rectangular shape pages to make these the base for our project. Here's another one that I stamped on. I was going to save these in my scrap box, but why not use them up? And so we have our base. And the next thing you want to do is cut a ton of triangles. So let me just show you how many triangles I've cut here. So these are all the sheets that I pulled out of my box, out of the scrap box, and cut them up into little triangles. These really tiny ones are what's left over from this. So when you get to the edge, and we'll go through it, but when you get to the edge and you have to cut around what's left over on the back side, you'll end up with a lot of these little triangles. So I'm saving these for part of the project. And then you have to cut much larger strips of triangles, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. So I just have some regular, I don't know what this is. This is like cottony kind of paper. I'm just going to use it to show you exactly how we cut the triangles. So you just place your page. This is, I don't know, 2 1/4 by 5 1/4, right? So you just place your page in your guillotine or your slide cutter on an angle. So now you have this long triangle shape right here, right? So it's in the guillotine on an angle, and I just cut that off, and now I have this. So you want to keep doing that, all right? And now you have this angle here. You want to place it in the guillotine the opposite way. So now your wider section is up at the top, and the narrow section is down here at the bottom, and cut that away. So now we have that, right? And then you just keep rotating the cuts so that you have the point on one side, the wide edge on the other, and just keep chomping away at it. until you get all the way down to the bottom and you end up with just two very last triangles like that. Okay, so that's just the way we came up with all of these little pieces of triangles to make the sunburst. Okay, so I'm just going to do it again really quickly with this gold sheet of paper. So I have a large triangle going that way, a large triangle going this way. Do you see that? Just from one sheet of paper. I'm not even like really rotating it or anything. I'm just sliding the wide edge to one side and getting that. And I think I can get one more right there. Okay, so it'll be up down as you cut through your page. Anyway, let's move on to the fun stuff. So I think everyone does it a little bit differently, so we're just going to go through it, and I'm going to, let's use this one. I'm going to grab a glue mat, and this is what I've decided to do, or how I've done these right here. I used glue stick. I think Milena used wet glue, but I'm just going to use some Elmer's Craft Bond. Okay, really simple glue, and I'm not measuring anything. I think Milena did measure hers to get her centered, but I'm just gonna go in with glue. So let's just do that. I'm just going in with the whole stick of glue on maybe 3/4 of the page. So this section right here is not glued, and all of this up here at the top is glued. And we're just gonna do a sunburst to this glue line, right? So, oops. Let's do this. I'm gonna grab just any old page to start and put that down. And as you see, when we cut off the edges, all of this is going to be sticking out on the edges, so we'll still have some more scraps left over. So, yep. And glue stick works fine. It worked for me for all those others that I've done. And it came out just fine, so I'm not too worried about it. And even on one of these projects here, this is the actual cardstock back here. This is these two pieces, the green leaves. That's what the cardstock looked like on the you know, the colored side or whatever. So yeah, I just left a little gap right there, and now we have, you know, showing through. I just did not cover up that little piece. So yeah. Anyway, let's just play, right? We're playing with paper. So this is what the cardstock looked like, and I just used a strip of it to cut up and make these triangles. So you want to get them close together but not overlapping at all. And yeah, just keep going all the way around. The longer your piece is, the better when you're working with the center of the starburst. And as you get closer to the edges, you'll see that you need to use some of these smaller pieces. And if you start to find that your page is not sticking, just go in with some more glue stick, right? Just some more glue stick as you go to the edges. And yeah, so I hope you guys are at least attempting to have a crafty day. We're already at Wednesday. It's hump day. So a few more of these and we're done for the week. So I hope you guys are having a crafty day, and you know, staying naturally curious, of course, working out what you're gonna do for the weekend, of course, because we live for the weekends. And yeah, there's that. And what else do we have that we haven't used yet? Maybe one of these. Okay, It's just gonna look like a little patchwork kind of quilty. Oh, here's some pretty gold. Like a little patchwork sort of, same way we make master boards, which is glue paper to paper, right? And it ends up being great when we're done. The magic of gluing paper to paper, my goodness, who knew? Who knew this was a job when you were in elementary school and they ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? So everyone was like, teacher, fireman. I want to be a paper gluer. I know my mom's gonna look at this and just she's just gonna laugh her head off because yeah, who knew? So I'm just using a little bit of book page right here, and let's see, oh, here's some pretty paper right here. So I'm getting close to my edge of the line that I wanted to glue to. So that's gonna go there. Like, this is my line right here, right? So everything above that has to be glued down. And let's see, I'm just gonna place this last one right there. So let's take a look. What's gonna go down here at the bottom will probably be some really large book page writing. I'm just going to tear that off. Oh, that's great. Right? So that's going to go right there. And I want to know if I should save the word Peter Pan. I'll save it. Whoops. Okay, yep, that's gonna go right there, and I'm just going to glue stick it down. Right, and when I'm done, I can go in with some Tim Holtz Distress Collage Medium to like really glue all of this in place, to keep all of the pages together, you know, really nicely. Or you can use some clear gesso. It does the same thing. It just gives you a more of a gritty feel to it. So I did not do that to these, but I will, because it just keeps everything intact when you're done. And the other thing that I found the other day, before I'm done here, I will find it and show you. I found something at Dollar Tree called Puzzle Gluer. It's basically like a clear adhesive that you can use to glue a puzzle together. So once you're done making a pretty puzzle, if it has a nice image to it, you want to keep it as a picture and frame it or what have you, you place this all over the top of the puzzle, and then yeah, and then you can frame it, which I think is pretty genius. But I guess glue would do the same thing. Or, you know, Mod Podge or some sort of collage medium would probably give you the same effect. So now we have this, right? So here's the back side of our paper. I want to give this a second or two to dry. Also check for anything that's lifting, like, you know, right over here in this corner. And you can use wet glue or some more glue stick just to get underneath there and glue whatever's lifting. Right? And we're just checking for lifting. Whatever doesn't stick, you want to add some more glue. And now we're going to cut this off. And Milena did say this is her favorite part, right? This is very satisfying, guys, when you have paper to remove off the edge of another piece of paper. It is very satisfying. It's like cutting paper. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, this can be part of the most favorite part of the project. And you want to get it close. It doesn't have to be perfect, but when you're done, you get all these pieces, right? So then you could just recut them into triangles and use them for your smaller areas, like down here, those parts of the sunburst that needs to be covered. So Yeah, we're gonna cut this part off. Get my junk off the scissors edge. Sweet. It's the whole process of watching the project come together is really, it's really what's the satisfying part of it. Look at that. Isn't that so stinking cute? All right, and then we have all of these extra scraps left over, so I'm just gonna place them in a pile because these I've already cut to fit into triangles. I'm gonna place those in a pile and move them out of the way for now. All right, and now we just need something to go here in the middle. So I have these little stamps. Let's see, so these are just some circles that I stamped on I got this from a friend. My friend Paul gave me these little stamps right here. Hi Paul. So these are just some stamps that I got from him, and I've been stamping them on all of my circles to create little sunflowers or roses in the middle there. I think that'll look cute right there. Let's do that. And also you want to be careful if you do decide to stamp on the shiny gold paper. If you have any gold paper, it does take forever and a half a day to dry, so good luck with that one. But yeah, I just stamped it on some regular paper, not even cardstock, and I'm just going to glue stick this down right here in the middle. And then I'm going to come back in with my little Peter Pan word because I think that's cute. And if you want to ink, now would be the time to do that. But first I'm going to round my corners. So I'm just going to use my medium corner rounder and just go around the edges and round these corners. It looks a little bit more finished. And now I'll ink it with, I'm using ground espresso. And as you're inking, again, if you find anything that's lifted or not glued down in the right spot, you can just go ahead and use some wet glue or some glue stick and just go underneath it and glue it down. Sick. I love that. That is so cute. I could have inked my word Peter Pan to stand out a little bit more, so I'm going to do that. Even though it was already glued down, glue stick takes its time to dry, so I can appreciate that when you want to remove something off of your page. So nice. Like it a lot, guys. Thank you, Milena. What another great idea from scraps. Using up our scraps. Otherwise, the box that you have your scraps in will just keep growing. I'm telling you from experience. Alright, so there's another one done. So I'm going to add this to our others. And let's do another. So let's do a long one. Oh, that's... Now that you look at it, you know, even though I stamped on here and was not happy with some of the fuzzy stamping that I did, I think this will be a great little journaling card. So let's go ahead and do this one. I'm going to start with something very long, just some coffee dyed paper. It's super long. Right in the middle of the page. Oh, that flower is going to get covered up. But right here in the middle of the page, I'm going to place that. It's just some plain old coffee dyed paper. And I'm going to come all the way down to, again, about 3/4 of the way. Actually, let's do this one different. Let's go the other direction. Right? So I'm going to start down here and go that way. Okay, there's that. And here's some ombre paper. I'm going to send this up that way. Again, not overlapping, but very close to the previous sheet. And yeah, this will look great going the opposite direction of the others. So you just have to take into consideration that you need longer sheets because you have all of this to work with, right? So let me just slide you up into frame a little bit more. So yeah, we need much longer sheets for over here. And this will be our sunburst area at the top. Okay, so I'm gonna need something extremely long for here, and I don't want to repeat so soon, but I might have to. Let's see. That just barely made it. So yeah, I'm thinking, okay, so my sunburst is now going a little bit this way. And that's really all it is. You just have to examine the direction that your sunburst is going into once you start gluing down your papers, because it can change on you, right? So if your paper is not long enough, your sunburst may end up changing directions on you just slightly. And let's use some of this red painter's tape, painter's paper right over here. And now we can go in with some of our smaller strips in various areas on here. And oh, there's some. I know what I'm going to use. Use some of this right there. Whoops. Right there. And I'm just really just using the same papers over and over again because I did not cut, I mean, a bunch of scraps. I just took like large sheets of scrap paper and cut it up over and over and over again. So I don't have a bunch of pre-cut scraps. I'm just reusing the same patterns, various shades of the same pattern over and over. So yep, that's what's happening with this project. So now we're looking at here, let me just draw you a little image here. So now our sunburst starts like right around here. So it starts here and it's going out that way, even though our page is facing the other direction. If that makes any sense. I hope you guys follow along. And then this just ends up looking like this really cool quilted patchwork. It looks like you spent hours and hours and hours on it, right? But we really didn't. And it makes a great little journaling card in the end. So I just have a few more sections here to cover up, and then we can work on the bottom section here. Just trying to find one sheet of something that I have not used yet. Nope. Oh, here's this one. Okay. So just to test, right? Just to make sure that we're on the same page. You take whatever it is that's going to cover up your sunburst. And now you see you still have this little section right there that needs to be covered. Or if you have like a book page or something that you want to put down, you just place it in the area where you think you're done. And you see how much of it needs to be covered still. I'm going to round this corner, so that's okay, but I still have over here that needs to be covered up. I'm just going to use some coffee dyed paper to go in that spot. And let's see. Oh yeah. Looking pretty good. Okay, so to place my little circle, in the sunburst center, I'm just going to pop that down right there. And then we have this, guys. Look how easy that was. So simple. And we have all this journaling space on the back, which I'm going to have to clean up because it's been stuck to my sticky glue mat and it has some excess glue on the back here. But I mean, this is really cute. Alright, so I'm just going to check for any lifting, like right there. And let's see, I just flop the page around to see if any others are lifting off the edge of the page. And then I just add some glue right there. Okay, so I'm going to decorate the front of this. Let me move my glue mat. So to decorate the front of this, I'm going to use a butterfly. The other one I did do a like a washi butterfly. Let me see here. So I did this little washi butterfly right there. But this one I think I'm going to use, oh, here's a little bumblebee. That is so cute. So I stamped a bumblebee from this stamping block, again from my friend Paul, gave me these little stamps. So I stamped a bumblebee on there and wrote the word, found a little sticker from my word pad that says kind. So it's like, be kind. Isn't that cool? I'm not going to place it near the sunburst. I'm going to place it somewhere else along here. Just right about there in the middle. Very cute. And I can put another stamp here on my coffee dye page. Let me grab a stamp. So I have Explore, Gorgeous. Well, I did Adventure and Beautiful already, so I'm going to do Explore. And I'm just using my VersaFine ink pad. And yeah, I have plenty of space down here. It's still on the card. Alright, so while this is drying, let's see, maybe I will stamp something on here. I will stamp a little rose right there. That is sweet. I love it. Okay. So now we're going to go through and cut away all of our excess paper. And again, you will have a lot of triangles left over, so save those for your other cards that you make the sunbursts with. Okay, there's that. Some of these pages at the top are very thick, so I'm trying to get as close to the edge of the card itself without cutting it. So there's that. And adorbs. That is just so stinking cute, guys. Really, really cute. Okay, so there's this. And ink, if you like, I'm going to ink this. I'll probably use a different color ink. I'm probably going to use Worn Lipstick because it's here, just to change that up a little bit. Looks good. Going around my corners with my medium corner rounder. Like I was saying, my sunburst didn't go all the way to the edge right there because I knew I was going to round these corners. And wherever you see lifting, just go back in with some glue stick. Right? And I'm going to ink with Worn Lipstick. Oh, that looks so good. I'm impressed. Thank you, Milena. Like, you nailed it once again. Did a great job with this project. I love it. Alright. So guys, I hope you have a crafty day. Please go do something wonderful. It's Wednesday. It's What's Up Wednesday. And this is what I hope you guys have a crafty day. Just go out and do something wonderful. I love how this came out. Thanks, Milena. You nailed it. Alright guys, I will talk to you in the next one. Have a crafty day, guys. Stay naturally curious.